Alright, good morning everyone. It is Tuesday, November 11th, just after 7:40, and we are back in the mountains for hopefully filling an elk tag today. Yesterday we kind of took a rest day since we didn't get that deer out and back to town until really late Sunday night, so took yesterday to rest a little bit and get a game plan for today. So we're in a brand new area today again. This is kind of on the other side of the mountains from where we were the other day. Since we didn't see a whole bunch of elk sign, we decided to change it up, and hopefully we can find a spot where they've been hanging out down here by the fields today and get a shot at something. So stay tuned. Just left the truck. Been walking for about 15 minutes. We're just walking in on this old horse path. It's really cold again this morning. I think it was 30 degrees when we left the truck. We saw quite a few deer on the drive in here, so pretty hopeful that there's going to be more deer and maybe a few elk on their feet if we can find them today. Let's see what happens. Pretty hopeful today. It's nice that we already have one deer in the freezer after just one day of hunting, so pretty fortunate so far. Let's see if we can keep the streak going. We're probably close to a mile in here now. Really haven't seen any sign. Just really old sign. Looks like the cattle in here ate almost all the grass over the summer, so we can see a big field up on top of one of these hills off in the distance, so we're breaking off the trail, trying to get up there, but there's so many blowdowns it's hard to really move. So we're gonna keep plowing through this stuff. Hopefully we can find a little clearing where it'll give us a break and we can get up and over. It's really slow going. Just about impossible to be quiet going through all these blowdowns. Just getting the legs warmed up, but that is where we're going up there. Gotta see if we can find something up there. this hillside. There's a ton of old beds and crap. And it just reeks of elk. So they were in here somewhere recently. We're gonna keep going up this hillside here. We're almost to the top. And see if we can't find something. They gotta be around here somewhere though. It's not super, super fresh, but I don't think they would have vacated this area completely. There's plenty of grass up high. And like I said, there's beds all over and it stings like elk, so I think we're getting close though. Alright, quick update. It's just after 11:30. We just sat down to have a snack and talk about our game plan. It's been a pretty uneventful morning so far, so I haven't really been filming all that much, but we came all the way up that ridge line. There was pretty good elk sign all the way up. But it just seems like we're just a little bit behind them. Can't really figure out where they went. They could still be up here, but it's just hard right now. So we're moving up through some of this brush, kind of skirting a lot of the blowdowns. And they're still pretty fresh. Pretty fresh elk sign up here, so they could still be laying right up here. We just gotta find them, and it's just a matter of being in the right place, right time. So we're gonna keep poking along through this and see if we can bump something out of their bed, or maybe even find a nice deer. Pretty fresh.
That's fresh.
Yeah. We've hunted areas like this in the past where we'll be walking through some of this patchy stuff and all of a sudden you'll come around a tree and there'll just be an elk or a deer standing there looking at you. So trying to keep our heads up and pay attention to our surroundings, and hopefully we can make this work. But it's been a fun day. Getting another great workout in. It's been sunny, no rain, very little wind. So, and we're out here. Just me and my dad, so I have no right to complain about anything. I'm gonna keep pushing through this. Jumped a really small buck. Small muley. And we're just walking through all this patchy stuff. Trying our best to move and look at everything in front of us. He's still standing there. There he goes. Still running. He was barely a forkhorn, so we let him walk, but we're just following the edge of this blowdown timber, and it seems like there's stuff bedded up here on top. in this patchy stuff. So we're just trying to keep moving slow and keep our wits about us and see if we can't see something before it sees us. If we do bump something decent, it's gonna be a real snapshot, and it's not gonna stand there for very long, I don't think. I think it's gonna be pretty quick. Like I said, in the past we've hunted areas like this where you'll be walking along not seeing anything, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's animals right in front of you. So it's beautiful in here though. Here's what we're looking at. Well, we hiked back through all that thick stuff and bedding cover and didn't see anything, so we're just side hilling this field that we came in on this morning. Just looking for any fresh sign or really anything at all. And I think the plan is to hike out of here, try to find a decent spot for tomorrow, depending on what time we get out tonight. We're just gonna hunt our way out, and hopefully we can catch something up on their feet. If not, we'll be back in the morning to try it again. Well, we just got down here to the bottom of the hill. I say hill, but we found a couple of pretty good elk beds, some fresh crap in them, so we kept going around the side of the mountain until we couldn't anymore, and then we bailed straight off, and that was crazy amount of deadfall and crazy steep, so we came down out of that. And it is like that all the way up to the top. So it's about 2:30 now. Took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. We're gonna grab our packs and we are going to start hiking out and see what time it is when we get back to the truck. But haven't seen anything except for that one small buck all day, and it's been pretty discouraging, but it's all right. We'll check this one off the list and we'll keep moving to the next spot if we don't see anything on the walk out. Well, we just got back to the truck. We motored out of there. It is now 3:41, and we are going to spend the rest of the day, which is about an hour worth of shooting light, driving around and glassing and trying to come up with a plan for tomorrow. So, wish us luck. Still got our guns ready just in case. Alright, hey everyone, it is Wednesday, November 12th. We are back in the mountains, going for elk or a nice whitetail. It's 11:30 in the afternoon. We are getting a late start because we drove around this morning trying to find access, and all the places that we wanted to go there were already people at. So we're at a new spot today that we haven't hunted in almost 10 years now. So it'll be fun to get back up and see if there's still animals kicking around. Plus there's a little bit of snow, so we'll be able to look for tracks. So stay tuned. Looks almost like a cow and a bull, but that's a good sign. We're only 100 yards down the road and we're already on somewhat fresh elk tracks, so that's good. Since we came in, looks like there was a bunch of them running through here at one point, maybe within the last couple days. So right now, we're sneaking through this really heavy timbered area where we think they might be bedded at. It's about 12:30 right now, so they should be getting up here pretty soon. We're gonna try to catch them before they get up. And if we can't catch them now, we're gonna go back to the clearing where we saw all the tracks originally and set up there for the evening. There's one bed. That's a good sign. I'm sure there's a few more in here. We've seen quite a few fresh tracks, so fingers crossed it works out. Just trudging along through this stuff. We just came up to a clear spot where it sees a lot. There's a lot of tracks down lower, but our wind is terrible, so we're gonna head back to the trail and see if we can sit there and wait something out this afternoon. You can see from that bed, there's still a couple of hot cows in estrus with this group of elk we've been following. Every time they stop to feed or bed down, there's always blood in their urine, so I think that's probably why there's so many bull tracks on the cow tracks as well. Hopefully we can run into one of them soon. Something you don't find every day, rifle hunting. Leave that one right there. Back on the trail. There weren't any fresh elk droppings or tracks on the way down, so We're gonna follow this trail back to where we started and sit there on the edge of the clear cut for the last 45 minutes or so of light by the time we get back there. We are close today. We're getting closer. We're trying to figure out where they are. And all that we've done is check off where they're not. We'll get there. Just gotta keep trying. Usually I'd be worried and walking slower to kind of try to hide my sound a little bit, but we haven't seen any like really fresh tracks yet today. Some of them look like they're within the last day or two, but no running tracks like we just jumped them out of their bed or anything like that. So we're just huffing it back, and maybe my noise will kick something up. Well, we were gonna sit the edge of that clear cut until dark, but we came back to the truck and someone's already sitting there, so it's gonna conclude day 3 of our trip. We're gonna head back to town, call it early, and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day, a new luck. Alright, this is day 4 of our hunt. We are in a new place yet again. This place we've generally had better luck late in the season when there's snow on the ground, but we haven't really seen anything at our other spots, so figured why not come check this out. So just on the drive in, we've already seen quite a few mule deer and a spike, a bunch of does, and then a really small 4x4. So it's a good start to the day. We're gonna get hiking and see if we can't turn up some elk. We made it up to our first glassing point. It's funny, when we were coming around the corner, that little 4x4 was, I don't know, 40 yards from the truck. He let us drive right up next to him and didn't really seem to care too much. He's lucky that's not my style of hunting, or he would have been in the freezer. But to be honest, my dad still has his elk tag, and he's only got 2 more days to hunt. So I didn't want to shoot that deer first thing in the morning and ruin the entire day, because it took 2.5 hours to drive out here. So I've got plenty of time. I'm a resident here, and it's still really warm, and the rut really hasn't kicked in. That buck shouldn't have been with other smaller bucks than he was this morning if it was full on rutting. So still got time. We got cold weather rolling in next week, so hopefully get some good karma out of passing on that one, and maybe we can find Dad an elk today. If we don't find one today, it's not going to be for a lack of trying, because we are going to be huffing it up to the top of that stuff. So we got some work ahead of us. Our legs are just getting warmed up. Well, we didn't see anything glassing, so we're heading back inside the tree line, and we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. It's unseasonably warm. It's gonna be mid to upper 60s here today and windy, so I don't know how well the audio is gonna play out on us, but I'm gonna do my best. Hopefully this will be the last really warm day of the season. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then the temps are supposed to plummet and be high 30s to low 30s for the rest of the season. So hopefully that'll kick the red into gear and get the elk moving around a little bit. We'll see. Well, we've officially started our climb out of the bottom. One of the nice parts about this spot is there's no trails to get to the top. You just gotta hoof it. From what we've seen in the past, I think that really deters a lot of people, which is fine. I think that's why there's still animals up here. Makes it easier for us. Oh, the wind up here is crazy. It's just whipping across the top. And we got almost to the top, and there was 2 other hunters walking down to us. We just got to talking to them. They went all across the top of this piece where we wanted to go, and they didn't see a single fresh track or a fresh pile of crab. So a change of plans. We are heading down out of here and go try a different spot. It's hard getting away from crowds on public land sometimes, but I'll keep trying and hopefully it pays off. Just had another couple of mule deer that were bedded down, jump up, like a really small 4-horn buck, and 2 does. Seen a lot of deer today. Still 0 elk, 0 fresh elk sign. So I can get back to the truck and come up with a game plan. Well, we drove to our second spot. We're on our way up the hill now. Slowly. This piece is just about as vertical as you can get without needing climbing rope or sheep's feet. We're gonna make our way up here and see if we can't find a nice buck or even find a couple elk. Usually this is good late season when there's snow on the ground, but we're gonna check it out anyways. Something you don't see every day. Those are all seashells that are embedded into the rock. And look where we are. Pretty wild. We've been coming up here a lot of years and that's still still one of the coolest parts about this spot. Finally made it up to the top of this piece. I'm gonna start sneaking through some of this bedding cover. In the past, I've shot a couple of nice balls off the top here. They've just been laying down. But we've also had snow, so we'll see if they're even up here yet. Usually this is a spot for last week or two of the season when there's cold weather. It's mid-60s today, so not super hopeful. But we'll see if we can kick something up and get a shot at it. Well, we got all the way up here, and the wind is just howling across this ridge, but not a single fresh track or fresh pile of crap all the way up. So it was kind of a crapshoot whether or not we'd see anything up here, but we figured we drove all the way out here, so we might as well check. But I don't think we'll be coming back here unless there's snow in the next couple of days. So we'll check this one off the list and we'll head downhill and see if we can kick something up on the way down. And if not, we'll make a game plan for tomorrow. This is like mountain goat territory. It's alright. Alright, we made it down off of that rocky spine. So now we're dropping into this darker timber and just following game trails until we get down to the bottom back to the truck. There's a lot of these trails where you can see that deer have been using, so hopefully gonna walk into something and get some action on camera. We've seen a lot today, but I haven't been able to get a lot on camera just because of how quickly these situations unfold. So here's what we're working with. We just made it back down to the main road. Didn't see anything coming through all that thick stuff, so that's going to be the end of day 4 for us. I'm going to go back to the truck and get a game plan for tomorrow. Now, there hasn't been a lot of action the last couple of days, but that's just how it goes sometimes on public land, so I appreciate everyone following along with us. If you enjoyed these last couple of videos, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I'm still going to be posting a bunch of hunting videos from now until the end of the year. So, all my new followers, welcome aboard. It's been a fun season so far, and looking forward to more successes in the coming weeks. Alright, good morning everyone. It is Sunday, November 16th. This is the last day that we have to hunt and try to fill my dad's elk tag. We didn't get to go out the other day because it was pouring rain and 40-mile-an-hour winds, so we stayed home and cut up the rest of his deer and freezer bagged it up, and it's all set now. So I'm back out here in the mountains, trying to fill this elk tag and send him home with a cooler full of meat. It's real cold this morning, 30 degrees, still snow on the ground, so I got high hopes. There's at least 4 other guys in this area that we talked to at the trailhead. They're going to be running around a lot of the lowland, so we're going to go high, and I think we're going to sit there for a little bit this morning just to see if maybe they kick something up or anything's moving around in these cuts that we can glass. So stay tuned, it's going to be a fun day. We're going to give it hell one more time. Sneak in through this bedding cover, trying to stay out of the noisy snow. Since it rained the other day, it refroze and it got way crunchier, so just trying to creep through here, making as little noise as possible. See if we can't sneak up on something. There's an old burned off area in here that we're trying to get to, just so that we can see long ways. We can glass a couple other cuts from there, so judging by some of these trees, I'd say we're getting pretty close, because they're all black on one side. You can tell which way the fire came in from. Well, we reached our glassing point up here. The wind is howling again. I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm creeping along the edge, just seeing if I can peek down over the edge and see anything. But it looks like there's been a couple other people up here since the last time we were here. But to go along with the people, there's also a couple of new elk tracks. So it almost looks like they kicked them up either yesterday or the day before, and we're chasing them all over this hillside up here, so we'll see. I can see hunters way down in the distance in one of these clear cuts that there's 2 of them that are standing over something on the ground, so hopefully they had success, and maybe their success will push something our way and lead to our own success up here. So we're going to sit tight for a little bit, see what happens, see if we can catch anything moving in between these 2 pieces that we're overwatching, and then if we don't see anything or nothing comes by, then we'll probably get down once the snow softens up and start poking along. It's just really hard to move quietly right now, and it's so thick that there's no way you'd get close to anything right now, so I'm gonna sit tight, have a snack, share some stories and jokes, and see what happens. Well, we sat up top there for about an hour and a half or so. Didn't see anything moving, but we did hear some shooting on the backside of this hill, so We're gonna drop off and see if we can't find something. I'm not sure if they were shooting at elk or deer, but it's more shooting than we ever doing up here, so hopefully they get something moving for us and we'll be able to draw a bead on something and put it on the ground and start packing out of here. But we're gonna try. Just cruising along the edge of this field, looking for spots in the snow that we can see if they've been coming in and out of this field recently. There's not much left for grass, so they've definitely been in here. It's just a matter of how fresh the tracks will be. We're gonna find them eventually. We walked down out of that other spot. Didn't see any fresh sign at all. So we decided to beat feet back to the truck, pick up and move. Now we got about 45 minutes till dark. So we're walking out on this old logging road and trying to get to just a spot that we can see a long ways and see if we're fortunate enough to have something walk out and give us a shot. So kind of last Hail Mary for our week of hunting here, but it's not over until the fat lady sings, so we're gonna keep pushing and see what happens. Some spots are just prettier than others. I am just so thankful that I get to do this and see all this open land. Look at this view. Look at that sunset. I think it's safe to say if anything steps out in the field, we'll be able to see it and hopefully make a play on it. So I'm going to set my pack up and break out my binos and start looking. We got about 45 minutes to the end of legal shooting light, so don't have a whole lot of time to make something happen, but we still do have time. We just got back to the truck. We didn't see anything on the way out, so that's going to do it for this video and this week. My dad unfortunately has to head back to the East Coast, so I'm going to be solo again next weekend, unless I can convince my daughter to come out with me, and pushing hard to fill either an elk or a deer tag. So make sure you tune in. Appreciate you guys following along. We'll catch you on the next one.